Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Grow For Me weekly webinar. My name is Lorraine Wright. I am the head of sales for Grow For Me. We are live on YouTube, and we are also here on Zoom as well for anyone that is joining or will join us via Zoom. So we're going to give it a few minutes just to wait for people to join. And then hopefully we'll get straight into what Grow For Me is all about and answer any questions that anyone will have. So we'll give it a few minutes and just wait around for a few people just to join as and when they decide to join. So once again, this is our weekly Grow For Me webinar session where we are always on hand and available to inform everyone in terms of how Grow For Me and what Grow For Me is all about and how everyone can get signed up. So we'll give it a few moments. We'll wait for people to get in. We are streaming live on YouTube, and we are also here on Zoom as well for anyone that wishes to join us on Zoom. So my name is Lorraine Wright, once again, the head of sales of Grow For Me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions as we progress through the webinar and also maybe afterwards if anyone has any questions. So let's get straight into it. What is Grow For Me all about? Grow For Me is a web-based agricultural crowdfunding and crowd farming platform. We essentially enable anyone to farm and generate some reasonably good returns, anywhere from between 5% up to 30%, by sponsoring experienced farmers in a profit sharing model. So the way that we work is, think about it like an Uber. We are considered to be the Uber of agriculture. So like an Uber or a Bolt, wherever you are in the world, you will get into a car that's not necessarily yourselves, not necessarily owned by yourself, to a destination, right? And that is through a driver that you don't necessarily know. So Uber is a trusted platform or the intermediary that's connecting you to a driver and a car. Very similar to what we are doing. We are a platform that's connecting you to a farmer and farmland. So essentially what we do is we enable anyone to farm without getting your hands dirty. And you can do that from wherever you are in the world. And we will grow and we will farm on your behalf. So we work with a number of different farmers. These are smallholder farmers who we have done so much due diligence on and made sure that these guys are individuals that have accountability in their community, and they've also grown, they have experience in growing the particular crop that we are growing. And we do this by marrying your sponsorship up to these farmers, so they essentially grow on your behalf. And what we do is we provide the transparency to you all through the process of the farming, so you get to track and monitor how your farm is doing over that period of time. Now, what we do currently is we focus on high demand crops, that are those ones in particular that we grow at the moment. You will see on our website is maize, soybean, pineapple. We're also growing rice as well, but we're going to very soon start growing other cash crops like peppers, cabbage, coconut, cashew, and so on and so forth. One important thing to note is that we are a registered broker on the Ghana Commodity Exchange, and the Ghana Commodity Exchange is governed by the Security and Exchange Commission, which we are an approved corporate institution. Now, one thing that's important for you when you want to find out who can you invest your money into is finding an institution that is known and is regulated. And that is one thing that Grow For Me has. So what's important to note is that with any form of investment, I'll let you know this very clearly, otherwise I will not be doing, I'll be doing a disservice to everyone that's watching me either on YouTube or here on Zoom, is that we can never guarantee your returns. So like with every form of investment, I would like to say this is my disclaimer right up front, your risk, your principal is always at risk. There's always capital at risk, and past performance does not always equal future returns, right? We also encourage you that not to invest more than you can potentially lose, right? But with that out of the way, I want to be very clear that we have had a proven track record of success. Last year, we grew maize on behalf of hundreds of sponsors, and we returned 27% return on sponsorship within 7 months. We did that also for soybean, and we returned 24% return on sponsorship, again, within the same period of time. So yes, we do have a proven track record of delivering good returns. But we're very clear as well, past performance does not equal future returns. There is risks that are involved around climate, the weather conditions. There also may be instances where maybe we didn't get the yield that we so wanted. So what we do is we put in a number of risk mitigation controls to make sure we try and deliver as many or as good results as possible. Now, one thing we do, I want to be very clear, is that no one makes money until we all make money. I hope that makes sense. So everyone has skin in the game. The way we work is a profit sharing model. So no one gets any pay until the work is done. So our process is very much, we grow on your behalf. We will then trade the items on your behalf. And that money that we return, that's returned from the trade, is what's used to pay everyone. You would get 50% of the profit. The farmer will get 35%, and Grow For Me will get 15% once we have completed the harvesting. Another way that we try and mitigate as many risks as possible is we operate in a crowd farming mode. And what that means is that we do not concentrate the risk in one particular farm. We want to broaden our social impact, but also diversify the risk and mitigate as much risk as possible. So that means we work with as many farmers in a particular region. So, for instance, one of the regions I've had the privilege of going to myself is Tamale in the northern part of Ghana. This is approximately 10 hours outside of Accra. About 45 minutes by flight, which is what I actually personally prefer. But when you go there, you're not just visiting one farm. You're visiting several different farms and farmers that we have an impact and we work with. The same applies for Kumasi. The same applies for the Western region. The same applies for Greater Accra, where we have multiple different farmers that we work with. We won't concentrate the risk in one particular farm, but rather there'll be 10, 15, 20 different farms and farmers that we will work with in a particular region. And why do we do that? That's because we want to make sure we don't concentrate the risk on one farm. Anything can happen if you put all your funding into one farm. So if everyone that was watching me on YouTube or also in Zoom today decided to sponsor, your money together will be grouped and then dispersed across a number of different farms across a different region. And that helps you to generate more impact, but also to minimize as many risks as possible. So let me show you how this all works. You visit our website, which is growforme.com. One important thing to note is that anyone that invited you to today's call, you can reach out to them and get their referral code. Mine, for instance, is Lorraine, all in lower cases, or maybe someone else has invited you to today's call. So you simply go out to them and ask them for the referral link. So when you sign up, you'll be asked to include a referral link. Once you've done that, you pick the crop that you would like to sponsor. That crop on our website, you can sponsor from as little as the equivalent of $40 or £30 or 220 Ghana cedis for a unit. Now, one unit is equivalent of 1/8 of an acre. So think about it. If you wanted to sponsor an acre, you'll pick 8 units. Those people that are in Ghana will be more familiar with the idea of plots. Now, one unit is equivalent of half a plot of land. So if you wanted to get a plot, then you would buy the 2 units. I hope that makes sense. So once you've decided how many units and the crop that you would like, you'll pay for it. So you can pay for it online, how you would do online with any other web platform. You pay for it, sit back, and you monitor the progress of your crops. There are 4 ways for you, or 3 ways for you to make payment, and I'll show you those on the next page. Now, once you have selected everything, you've paid for it, you can monitor, as I said, the progress of your crops through the back end of our platform. And I'll show you some examples of that. We will grow on your behalf. And then what will happen at the end of the farming cycle, we will then harvest, and it will take a period of 2 months or so to trade the commodities, to trade the crops. And most often than not, we trade to the Ghana Commodity Exchange. Once we have done that, and if we have generated a profit, we will then make a payout out to you, where I said you'll get 50% of your profits. That will be over and above your principal amount if there was a profit. Then there will be the 35% that will go to the farmer, and then 15% that will come to Grow For Me as the platform intermediary. So let me take you to the website and show you what this looks like. So our website, as I said, is growforme.com. So once you are on the website, you will see the various crops that are available. Soybean is available. We will start that next year. Unfortunately, people will have just missed out on the current cycle. We did close that literally last week. So that is available. Then we also have rice. We also have pineapple, and then we also have maize available. You can participate in commodity trading as well, which gives Growth for Me the necessary cash flow in order to do some commodity trading. Now, you can generate your return from that if you wanted to in a shorter period of time, and you could generate some returns on sponsorship there. Now, if you, for example, wanted to get involved in the earliest available cycle right now, which is maize, and I encourage everyone to do so today because we do sell out very, very quickly. You can get involved in maize. We are going to be closing this week, where you can see here the price for the unit. You will then see the return on sponsorship. Now, this ranges from 9% up to 28%. People always ask me, why is there such a large range here? I want to be very clear. There are two main variables pertaining to this. And I'll give you the reasons why. Number one, when you're growing anything, when you plant that seed, you don't know how it's going to grow or what it's going to grow to be size-wise or weight-wise. That is one variable. So if you take maize, and those of us that are in the UK, for example, we know maize as corn on the cob, and people in the US know maize as corn on the cob. So if you take that corn on the cob, you've planted the seed, right? Then you wait for it to grow. You don't know if that maize is going to grow to be thick, thin, short, fat, right? But we know there is an approximate size and waiting for it. And that is the range on one parameter that we offer. The second is the pricing. The price in the market, you know, if you can go to those people in Ghana, you can go to the market, you can go to Melcom, you can go to Maxmart, you can go to ShopRite, and you can go and buy corn on the cob. They will all give you different prices. You can go in the UK to Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, they will all be different prices. Why? Because the cost of the maize varies depending on where you get it from, right? So the cost in the market at any given point also is a variation, and also that drives the return. So if you marry those two variables together, the price and the weight, i.e. the yield, that gives us the range. But we know the parameters, we know the high and we know the low of the weight, and we know the highs and the lows of the pricing. It's never going to be, $5 per maize, right? But we know what the average is when you look at it, and it's a weight in kilos. So that's a little bit of a spiel, just so you understand what that's all about initially. So you've got the price of the unit, you've got the return on sponsorship range, then you've got when it starts and when the farming ends. Now if there is a profit due to you, we will make that profit out to you within 2 months after this date. That 2 months gives us the time to trade the commodities, right? As I said, in order for us to determine what the return will be, the items need to be traded. Excuse me. Then you also have the farm location. Sorry. The farm location tells you that in the region where we are actually farming these commodities, right? So there's not just one farmer that we work with, but there's a number of farmers we work with in this region. So if you are deciding to go with maize, which I encourage everyone that's on this call today, we're closing maize in the next couple of days. So I'd urge you to get on board onto this one today. You'll sponsor the farm, you'll click on here. But you don't have to go with maize. There are other opportunities you can add on to your payment today if you wanted to. So once you come here, you will then be able to give your farm a name. Now, once you've given your farm a name, I can see some people that are on Zoom today. So let me just call this, because I can see someone here with a very similar name. So I will just write that here, Cause Farm, or Callias Farms, or however we want to put it, just because we can. Now, we will then select how many units. The minimum that anyone will need to purchase is 1 unit. But depending on your budget, you can select however many units you would like. So let's say, for the sake of argument, today your budget was approximately, I don't know where everyone's watching from. Let's say, for example, you were in the UK and you had a budget of £1,000. £1,000 is roughly 8,000 Ghana cedis. So you can select however many units will take you up to the 8,000 Ghana cedis. that is approximately 27, let's say 28 there, right? So that will give you approximately £1,000. Our website is denoted in Ghana cedis, so everything we do is in Ghana cedis, but we appreciate that a lot of our customers are from wherever in the world, Australia, South Africa, Dubai, the US, across the continent, in Europe, everywhere. So whatever the Ghana cedis denotes or is calculated as, do translate that into your local currency. Then you select how you want your proceeds, cash or crops. Now, by cash is simply the money you put in. If there's any profits generated, you'll get cash back. If you want crop, what would happen is that once we've planted to the value of what you've sponsored, once those crops have grown, you'll be entitled to 50% of the crops that's grown. So you can come and pick up the physical raw product and do what you want with it. Whether you're going to use it for business, trading activity, import, export, offset, whatever it may be, you can do whatever you want with it. So once you've decided on what you want to do, let's say, for example, it was cash, you will then see on the right-hand side all the calculations. And as I explained to you today, there are different, there's a reason why there is a range within the profit margin. So it's telling you on the low side, if you're going to sponsor approximately, and as I said, the minimum for you to sponsor is 1 unit. So that's approximately 290 Ghana cedis, right? But if you had a larger budget, let's say 8,000 Ghana cedis, if you were going to sponsor that amount, your return will be between 9% up to 28%. And in cash terms, that is 732 Ghana cedis, so just under £100, up to 2,281 Ghana cedis, right? So that there gives you what it looks like in terms of a monetary value. Now below is where the variables, where you can see more information and get insight in terms of why there is a large range. As I explained to you, you've got the kilos, so how much does the maize weigh at the end of it? And you've also got the selling price. We have a range there and we have a range for the yield. And it's those two variables which will determine the return. We don't know what it's going to be when we plant in the ground, but we have a fair idea in terms of the range. And that will give you approximately what your returns will be. So once you've decided how many units you'd like to do, you'll then simply pay now. And once you've done that, you can select whether you want to pay with card. So every international or local bank card is accepted. You'll be put onto a different website and you'll make that payment securely and check out. Or you can use mobile money, which is familiar as a mobile wallet for those people that are based in Ghana. Or you can use a third-party app like SendWave, TapTapSend, Wise, Western Union, Money, World Remit, MoneyGram, all of the above you can use. They offer mobile money options. So you simply connect it to your bank account and it will be able to take the money out of your bank account and pay that into our mobile money account. So when you click on that, when you click on pay now, it will take you to the next site, which will give you the mobile money wallet number for Grow For Me. You can make the payment to that. The next one is bank, which is a direct bank deposit. If you're in Ghana, you can go physically to the bank and deposit the money into the Grow For Me bank account. Or you can use a third-party app, as I said, like Wise, SendWave, TapTapSend, TransferWise, I said Wise, MoneyGram, Western Union, and you can take the bank details of Grow For Me, which will be on the next page, and you can insert that into the third-party remittance app, and then you can send the money from your bank account to the Ghana bank account there. So those are the options for you to make payment. So once you have paid, and we have started farming for you, I'm going to give you an example of what you would see once we've commenced farming. So when you come back, let's say, for example, you've sponsored maize, you will not see any pictures until the farming has started. But once the farming is started, you can come back. And I'll give you an example in terms of soybean. I'm going to just do this as a soybean example. If you are sponsoring soybean, you get to see the progress of the crops through the process. You can see on the left-hand side, all of the various options, and you get to see what it looks like through the planting, the preparation process for the land. You then get to see the planting process, so how it looks like when we are actually planting the items, the commodities, crops rather. So these are amazing because we've got women and female farmers that are doing this. We love to work with women because we want to really change the narrative and make an impact when it comes to those people that are farming in these areas. Then you get to see all the processes: germination, vegetative stage, the reproductive stage, the maturity and ripening stage, and the harvesting and threshing stage. And once you get to see all that, it just makes this reality. And anytime you want to, you get to come and visit the farms as well. So you are more than welcome. If you're ever in Ghana, do let us know, and you'll be able to go and visit the farms as and when you'd like to. So that is more or less it in terms of how Grow For Me works. Once we are ready, and if there is a payment or payout due to you, there are 1 of 4 ways where you can receive your money back. And as I said, this is 2 months after the trade, the ending of the cycle. So that 2 months gives us the time to trade the items, right? And I'll be very clear once again. I said this at the beginning of the call, like with every form of investment, whether you buy a house, you buy a car, you buy something on the stock market, past performance does not equal future returns. Your capital and your principal amount is always at risk. But Grow For Me do put in a number of mitigating controls to try our best to mitigate and generate return for our customers. And we do that in a number of ways, as I said earlier on in the call. We also do have a level of insurance up to a certain amount in the event of flood and drought instances. And that is a trigger point that the insurance company will do. Not us. It doesn't work like a car insurance, for example, where you've, God forbid, crashed your car and you go to insurance company and say this is what's happened, they then do evaluation, etc. This is triggered by the insurance company. The insurance companies monitor the climate and they will tell us, okay, based on what's happened, they will pay out a certain amount. So it's not always up to your full principal, but a portion of it potentially may be protected. In the past, what we've done is we've simply reinvested, and by reinvesting, we've allowed us to actually generate more returns in another cycle. So when we come back to this, when we are in a position to make a payout and there has been a profit, you can receive your money back 1 of 4 ways. The first way, if you're outside of Ghana, you can receive your money into an international bank account. By receiving an international bank account, there is a small charge or a charge of $40. So do think about the $40 if you're making a sponsorship, because I would always urge you, if you're making a sponsorship, make the sponsorship slightly larger so that you can actually absorb the cost of the transfer into an international bank account. Now, there is a high cost of that because in the Ghana government doesn't want to they're all about bringing in money, right, to the country, make it very easy for you to send in money through remittances to Ghana. But for those people that know when you're trying to send money out, it's very, very difficult. And that's a Ghana government and Bank of Ghana regulation, because they want to try and keep as much money into the country. So it's very costly when we're sending money out. And that is the $40 charge, flat fee, whatever it is that you sponsored. If you're in Ghana and you would like to see your payout into your bank account in Ghana, is a small fee of 25 Ghana cedis. Best option that we recommend for everyone is a virtual card. That's like an e-card that you can use online with any website, whether it's Amazon or whatever it may be. It's a Visa issued card, and that card will be loaded with your payout, and you'll be given your 16-digit card number and the security code securely, so that you can use that to use the money that is now being loaded onto your card. So you don't need the physical card, but it'll all be virtual. And then lastly, if you are in Ghana, you can receive the money into your mobile wallet, which is mobile money wallet, which is a 1% charge, as with every other mobile money transfer there is in Ghana. So why us? As I mentioned, we do have some level of insurance. We are a registered broker on the Ghana Commodity Exchange. We get our hands dirty, so you don't have to. We also leverage satellite imagery. So when you do come onto the platform, there is a level of satellite imagery that you can see. But us as a company, we monitor the crops through satellite imagery to make sure that we're able to give the farmers the right information so we can grow the crops and maximize as much yield as possible. One thing that the pandemic has taught us, we are still very much in a pandemic, but one thing has taught us that food will always be in demand. And because it's always in demand, the early part of the value chain will always be needed. That is the farming, that is the agriculture side of things. And agriculture right now is blossoming. So that is it for me. That is us at Grow For Me. Once again, my name is Lorraine at Grow For Me. And if you do, I'm the head of sales at Grow For Me. If you do want to get in touch with me, my email address is lorraine@growforme.com. I'll just show it on screen so you can see it now. Anytime that you would like to reach out, you're welcome to do that. So I'm welcome to answer and take any questions that anyone will have. I'll have a look on YouTube, so excuse me whilst I look on my phone. But anyone that's here on Zoom, do drop in any questions, or you're welcome to unmute yourself and also raise it, and I will be more than happy to answer for you. So if you're on Zoom, I can see a couple of thumbs up. Okay, someone has asked a question on Zoom. Show me how to create a Grow4Me account. So let me just show you how to do that now. So when you want to come onto our platform, I'm going to sign out of my own personal account. And I'm going to go to sign up. So when you go to sign up, you'll come to this page. Now on this page, enter in the referral code of whoever directed you to Grow4Me. So do reach out to them. My one, for instance, is Lorraine, just like that. And then what you can do is then sign up with your details here. We highly encourage people to sign up with a social media account. For instance, Google, Facebook, or Twitter. It just makes your life a lot easier when you are signing up. So once you've done that, you'll then be, it just reminds you, you don't have to remember any of your passwords or anything like that. Unfortunately, I think I've already got an account, so it's going to be quite challenging for me to do this as an example. But let me do that anyway, so that you can all see. Sign up. Once again, enter the referral code of the individual who has referred you. If you're watching through a YouTube video that you've seen, do check under the video who the person was that referred, and do use that. So let's sign up using an account. I'm going to do and I'm going to use, I don't know if I've got any email addresses available, but let's see. Okay, I've already got my email address, my email account here. But what I would, it's pretty simple. Once you've done this, you just use, because I've already got an email account that's been associated, you simply come onto this page. You'll then be directed onto a contract page. You complete the contract. The contract is very short for you to just read through. You fill out your personal information, your personal details. You attach a government issued ID. So a government issued ID, which could be a driving license, passport, voter's card, national insurance card, I believe it is, as long as it's issued by the government. You attach a picture of it. You also attach the ID number. This is securely saved and stored on the Grow4Me servers. And then you'll see the contract. You'll read and sign the contract, and then you'll be able to sign up and set up your account. It's very, very simple. You can do it in a matter of minutes. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Any other questions from anyone on the call or even on Zoom? Anyone on YouTube that's watching? I can see there's a few people on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, just give me a thumbs up so I can see that you are here and you are there. And if you do have any questions, do feel free to drop them. I am having a look at my YouTube, the stream as we are going on as well. And if you are on Zoom, feel free to unmute yourself, and I will be able to answer any questions that you might have. Okay, if there's no questions, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. This is a weekly webinar that we are doing, and you are more than welcome to join this every single week. Once again, my name is Lorraine Wright, the head of sales for Grow4Me, and I am looking forward to meeting every single one of you once again, if you get a chance and would like to sign up with Grow4Me. So once again, thank you very much, and wish